Welcome to Lawyers Who Care, the video show podcast that highlights attorneys who go above and beyond for their clients. And on each episode, we will meet a new lawyer and they will share stories of when they went beyond legal counsel for the benefit of their client. My name is Andrew Samalin. I'm the principal of Samalin Wealth, a nationally recognized wealth management firm for lawyers, their firms, and their clients. And let's applaud lawyers who care and learn from them. Today, my guest is Denise Mutamba. She is the founder of MDM Legal in West Palm Beach, and Denise's practice services clients across a number of industries and is primarily focused in the areas of employment law, immigration, estate planning, and housing. So welcome, Denise.
Thank you for having me, Andrew. I'm excited to be here.
So Denise, tell us what brought you to the law.
So I never intended on being an attorney. I actually intended on being a human resources professional, which I did for quite some time. But it was working as a human resources professional that I realized that a lot of employees do not know how to effectively navigate the workplace in good times or in not so good times. And so that prompted me to go to law school after working for a number of years.
Gotcha. And so you're in law school, you had your HR background, and you thought you just would dovetail into it, or did you try other areas of the law, or what did that look like?
So yes, I wanted to just dovetail right into employment law. I did have a brief stint in housing discrimination law. So that's where the housing law comes from. So I advocated for tenants and homeowners who were facing tough times, mostly in the aspects of housing discrimination.
Mhm.
And it was an easy brief depart because housing discrimination law was created using employment discrimination law. So the same requirements that you need to prove a case in court under housing discrimination law are very similar to the requirements you need to prove your case in court under employment discrimination laws.
So consistent with that, you have a client story that you wanted to share with everybody?
Yes, I wanted to talk about one of the clients I had, a lovely woman planning to get married. She worked for a very large company and she started to get sick at work. And through the efforts of her doctor, she learned that the work environment was making her sick at work. Now, she was a top performer. She received multiple bonuses, a lot of accolades from her employer. But once she needed assistance in kind of changing her job duties so that she could heal, the employer would not give her that courtesy or meet that legal requirement under the law. And so there were many times that I would just speak with her about how she was feeling, checking up on her, making sure she was taking care of herself physically and emotionally, because the process was a very lengthy process for her. It took us about 2 years to resolve her case. And so just kind of being there for her, letting her know that this was just not a case, it was just not an end result for me. I truly cared about her and about what was going on in her life. So we were able to resolve her case to her satisfaction. And now she is married to her husband and she's opening her own business.
So Denise, tell us about, a couple tips that you can provide both employees and then a couple tips that you can provide to employers from your experience.
Oh, certainly. So we'll go with employees first. So one of the things that employees need to realize is when some things are happening at work and you don't know what to do, the first thing you should do is put any concern you have in writing, and you need to send that concern to the HR department or the human resources department. If you work for a company that does not have a human resources department, then you need to make sure that concern goes to your manager, a supervisor, or the owner of a company. You cannot effectively advocate for yourself in the workplace without proving that you let the employer know that you had a concern. So that's the first thing. The second tip that I would have for employees in the workplace is to never hesitate to ask for assistance. A lot of companies have what we call EAP programs, or employee assistance programs, and those programs are there for you to help you if you're struggling within the workplace or outside of the workplace. So if you have an EAP program available to you and you're having a tough time, avail yourself. Go call the number, send the email, because you have to take care of yourself. Otherwise, you can't do your job effectively. As far as employers, I just ask that, or the tip is that they train their managers and their supervisors. A lot of times, the high level employees know what should be done, but the folks on the ground do not because they haven't been properly trained. These managers and supervisors need to know how to respond when someone is asking for a request for a reasonable accommodation, or when they feel that someone has discriminated against them or has engaged in inappropriate conduct involving them. If your managers and your supervisors are not properly trained, it actually opens your company up to greater risk. And so you want to avoid that as much as possible.
That's helpful for everyone watching. So if we were going to wrap up now, or as we wrap up, if you were going to leave the listeners with one takeaway, Denise, what would that be?
Always, always, always never fear to advocate for yourself in the workplace, and make yourself knowledgeable about the rules and what the employer is supposed to do and what is expected of you. Because as long as you are meeting the expectations, your employer can never use poor performance or misconduct as a reason to what I call skirt the law.
Interesting. Well,
Mhm.
I'd like to very much thank my guest, Denise Mutamba of MDM Legal. Denise, can you provide our audience with your contact information?
Certainly. As Andrew mentioned, my office is in West Palm Beach, Florida, but we represent clients throughout the state of Florida. We are on all social media platforms at MDM Legal PLLC. You can call my office. Our office number is 561-872-3601, or you can email us at info@mdmattorneys.com.
And they could just search you up and you'll show up on the top of their search.
Yes, I certainly will.
Awesome. This has been the Lawyers Who Care video show podcast that highlights attorneys who go above and beyond for their clients. If you're an attorney or know one who does go above and beyond, feel free to reach out to us, 914-666-6600. Denise, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you so much for having me.